Welcome back, casuals.
Woo! Let's get motivated.
They carried me out and then just launched me like a little javelin.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Welcome back,
Live.
casuals.
We're live again.
We've got a bit of a different setup here. We got the mics in different positions. See how it goes.
Mix it up.
But we have a guest with us, as you can see. We have radio extraordinaire. Me and Kev were talking a while ago how shit we are at talking.
We're getting someone on who can actually talk.
We got a professional talker among us.
I mean, to be fair, the three of us, I'm the only one that's been redundant from talking or made redundant professionally. So, I mean, it probably speaks for itself. You blokes are probably a lot better than me.
No, I do not think so.
Well, should we jump into that?
Yeah,
it's
made
fine.
redundant.
But you've worked in the radio business for how many years now?
Oh, I think this is 15. Coming up on 15
Holy,
this year.
true, that long. Unreal, bro.
Yep. Started in Broken Hill in Western New South Wales, and then went to Berry in South Australia, spent a bit of time in Cairns, then went overseas to Canada, to UAE, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
You were working in both then?
Yeah.
For radio or just traveling?
Yeah, that's where I met my missus, actually.
Unreal. In Dubai.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi. I met her dad, found out he was rich, so I decided to marry him. And now we've landed in Townsville.
And you travelled specifically for radioing, or
Yep.
you were just travelling and then picked up that on the side?
I wanted to travel anyway, but I'd worked out that I could get a visa in Canada pretty easy because I was under 30 at the time.
Really? Yeah.
And then Abu Dhabi, it was pretty easy to get over there, and it's tax-free cash. And as soon as I found that out, I was like, "Yep,
man, that's insane."
Yeah, so we did 2 years there. So
I met this one lad in Thailand who pretty much, he's an Aussie dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how he makes his money, but I think it's not fully kosher.
yeah,
So he lives in Dubai.
yeah.
It gets 100% of it.
It's all, because he
Well,
don't have to pay tax.
People think because you're going to the UAE, because it's, where it is in the world, that it's going to be really strict and whatever. And in some parts it is, because you go to work, and I work for Abu Dhabi Media, you'd walk in, there's blokes with machine guns as you walked into the building. But the party scene there, and I'm not a partier now, we dabbled a bit back then, the party scene there and Dubai is like anything else in the world. The underworld there, like tattooing is illegal, for example, but it has one of the biggest tattooing businesses in the world. It's all underground.
It's all hush-hush.
It's so dodgy. It is. I can say it because I'll never go back there. It's the dodgiest company and dodgiest country I've ever been in. It was great experience, but my God.
I've been to Dubai for connecting flight.
It's worth doing a few days if you can.
Unreal.
Because, picturesque, it's beautiful. Don't go in summer because it's 50 degrees.
Obviously, it's stinking.
It's disgusting. But if you can get there in their winter, it's beautiful. All man-made, but it is set up structurally outstanding. Yeah, it's just rock.
So how long were you there, and what sort of work were you doing?
18 months. I did a brekkie radio show. So there's a station called Radio 1, sort of broadcast around all the UAE. And, I was doing that from the outset for the entirety. But it was so dodgy because it feels good to talk about this. Never have.
Get it off your chest,
exclusive.
So we got there and they promise you $1 amount, and you get there and they say, "Oh no, you're going to get 2/3 of that, but if you don't like it, piss off." So, okay, I'm already here. And then they hadn't sorted our visas, so instead of just having a regular visa, every month you'd have to do a border run. So you'd have to get on a bus with all these randoms and go to Amman.
Flagpole over.
And come back. And there was
Amman, wow.
Amman.
Oh,
so
really?
the second one we did, we got to Amman and we were about to go and do it on this big bus. And I think I must have been the second last to get back in or something like that. And a lady thought I wasn't still there, and she was on the bus too, and she slammed the bus door, and she slammed it on my finger and broke it into a million bits. And I screamed Bloody Mary. And the customs officers in Amman thought I was someone trying to take over the world or something, because they hauled me off.
Hijacker.
Basically, yeah. Now I know what it feels like. They hauled me off into some horrible building and just sat me there, asked all these questions. I'm trying on my finger. I'm like, this is why I'm screaming. Like, it's blood's pouring out. It was disgusting. That was 2 months in. I remember getting back to, because I was living in a hotel, couldn't sort of con because I didn't have a visa. I remember sitting there thinking, what am I doing?
What am I getting myself into?
What am I doing? But lasted 18 months, met my missus, had fun along the way.
Well, that's
Awesome.
one positive, eh?
Yeah.
What sort of shit would you talk about though? Like, because
Because obviously they're the listeners, the locals are the listeners.
Yeah.
They would have been spun out by the accent. And
Well, it's funny because UAE, I think, is only 16% local. It's a number somewhere other. The rest are expats.
So it's a mad international sort of, people living
huge
there, working there.
UK, US,
Filipinos.
huge Filipino, Pakistani, Indian,
Yeah, right.
Australian. Yeah.
So you just talk about normal shit that you talk about, or
Probably not normal shit. In fact, I would never say shit because I was scared authorities would carry me off. So I reckon you probably PC yourself at least 30% more than you would back home.
Yeah, okay.
But over time, you realise you get away with more.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you're still careful, yeah.
Yeah, fair
So you
enough.
can drop F-bombs there without getting in trouble?
Drop an F-bomb and no one would ever see you again. You'd be, taken off into the sea and see it. No, not that bad. But you wouldn't be on air for any longer, no.
Yeah.
Well, even here you can't do that.
Well,
No.
yeah, technically you can't.
Well,
do that
the best
either,
thing
so-
here, we have a dump button. So we're on a 7-second delay normally on a live broadcast.
yeah,
So
that
if
works.
there is one, and there always is
Yep.
one person a week that'll call through and say something they probably shouldn't, and then you're lucky. But over there, we didn't have a dump button. But luckily, for the most part, people are pretty polite.
Yeah,
Is
right.
it a
'Cause
real
we've-
thing, like kissing your missus in public? And
Yeah,
that?
you're not meant to.
Yeah.
Because they can question you. So if you're married, it's fine.
Yeah.
But if I was walking down the shopping centre and kissing and then got questioned, by the way, very unlikely to happen. You're not meant to show public signs of affection like that if you're not married.
Okay.
Unreal.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. I've never actually heard that before.
Oh yeah, there's a couple that got
Super
Jailed,
strict on
didn't
it.
they?
Yeah.
There's some pretty wild stories from
Yeah.
over there. If you get a chance, YouTube the Dubai princess. I won't say too much in case they ever follow me and get angry, but
Yeah, right.
there's a pretty nuts YouTube video of some comings and goings from that country. It's a weird old
Wow.
place.
Canada would have been
You got
a bit
me-
more
got me
relaxed.
curious.
Yeah,
Got me
Canada,
curious, bro.
you can YouTube that
Yeah.
later.
Where in Canada did you live?
I actually did 2 stints. The first time I moved over there when I was a kid, and I worked on a farm, sort of middle of nowhere.
Yep.
So I was in Alberta, like central Canada, and you get off the plane, it's minus 30, and you think, what am I
Yeah,
doing?
it's fucking insane.
But the second time radio-wise, I was out east to start Niagara Falls, the Canadian side.
On Buffalo or the Canadian side?
Yeah, the Canadian side, yep.
Yep.
Which is a great town. They had a rugby team I played for called the Wasps. We had 3 grades. Just a nice little town. It's funny because Niagara, the strip, is like a mini Vegas. And you
It
go,
is,
you go outside there and it's quite poor and
Yep.
lower socio. But we had a great time in Niagara. And then I moved west to Kelowna.
Oh, yeah, Kelowna. I live just outside of Kelowna.
yeah.
Winfield. Pick cherries on farm just outside.
beautiful. Yeah, so
Yeah.
for those that don't know, it's north of
Okanagan
Vancouver.
Valley, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's beautiful there, right?
great part of
Stunning.
the world.
Yeah.
So.
What was the rugby team like? Was it league or rugby
It was union,
Oh, yeah,
and I
right.
went in arrogant, thinking, "Oh, it's Canada. These
Were
guys
they
are gonna be
locals?
shit.
Were
I'm
they
going to be
locals?
playing fly half." I ended up playing thirds on the wing. Like, they went all right, and I was dreadful. Yeah, true. Yeah.
They would have been keeners, like, this Aussie, this, like, he's probably going to be good.
So I had a
Expecting
meeting
him.
with them. They picked me up the second day I was there because I'd messaged them saying,
Thinking he's all deadly,
wouldn't mind
fuck,
playing
yeah.
some rugby while I'm here. They say, what have you played in league back home? I say, this, that and the other. I played a little bit of rugby in school, but not much. I said, sweet, like, you reckon you could play fly half? I said, yeah, sweet. So
Playmaker, yeah.
got to the first training and I was slotted in to play fly half in the first training drills. I think I dropped about
Bit of a reality check.
the first 4 balls from the scrum half. I missed. I marked up a kick or something similar, and then the next training, which is on the Thursday, I'd gone from 1s to 3s, and from fly half to they put me on the wing, and I never saw another bit of the field besides that rest of the time. So,
Good after parties, mate.
yes, good
Beers
parties,
after. I feel
good
like
parties.
the culture in rugby is
Yep.
fun, eh? Especially
And
overseas.
I love Canada. The Canadians love a big drink.
They're
too,
the
eh?
best.
They're awesome. They're
I-
fun people.
They'd have to be the most similar to us.
Yeah, I reckon. Cold Australians, eh? Frozen
Yeah.
Australians.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
similar. Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
right.
Yeah, that's the
What
way I
about
look at it.
troops?
Yeah,
What
it's
about-
real similar. Their joke, your humour,
Yeah.
everything. Like you just get along like a house on fire.
the
But
Canadians I've met are pretty like they don't when they come over here they don't
Yeah.
get our humour. So
Yeah.
I always thought they were different. Like,
Oh, no.
one lad that I met I used to play volleyball with. He reckons he was in Stockley and first time he got here, he was just getting stuff he needed for his dorm at the uni, and some guy was just like, "How you going?" And he's just like, "I'm taking the bus." I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he didn't know what chocolate block meant.
But the
He was like,
accent, there's always the accent barrier. Like I
Yeah.
remember saying, fucking oath. But that was still an American mate. I've spoke about this. I'd always say, he'd say something, I'd be like, yeah, fuck oath. and he thought I was saying fuck no. He always thought I was disagreeing with him. I'm like, nah, he'd get like defensive. I'm like, I'm agreeing with you, cunt. You know, like, yeah, but yeah, no, the Canadians they're awesome people.
Yeah.
But taking it back, so you've played football before. You grew up, did you grow up in Torres Strait?
Yeah, grew up on
So
Thursday.
talk about like you growing up here in Australia. And
Yeah, it was funny because like all I knew was Thursday Island because I was born in Tamworth but moved up there when I was really young.
that would have been fucking pretty cool.
Country.
Yeah. So I get up there,
Country to islands. From bush to the islands.
but I thought I was just a little black kid. I did, like, the whole time. I just assumed, and you get treated the same over there and whatever. And mum's background's from up that way as well. I just came out, whiter than chalk. But I look at photos now from like the school pictures. And you got all these Indigenous kids, and you can hardly see me. I'm like the ring light we're staring at now. It's like Casper standing in the back, but it was the best.
The opposite to unlock character.
It was a great lifestyle. It was. I didn't wear shoes till I was about 14.
Yeah, that's cool.
Went to school at Sacred
Little beach
Heart
baby,
there.
eh?
Yep. They always had fates on the basketball court down there. At the time, like our family's in the church a bit, but it's different out there. Like, church is not the regimented thing it is in certain parts of the world. It's fun, and the hymns and stuff are fun. You'd look forward to going, and you'd play footy on the oval every chance you got. It was the best. I haven't been back in about 7 or 8 years, to be honest, but I feel like it's a cheat code of a place because people now about, oh, you want to go fishing? I'm like, no.
Yeah. Spoiled.
Yeah, exactly.
You had the best fishing up there.
Catch queenfish off the TI wharf. It's
How
just,
awesome's that, man?
Yeah, it's insane.
Unreal.
Is there much like structure within their sporting stuff back then, or you just all got
There
together
wasn't
and
back
played,
then.
like-
Get
No.
together and carry on.
Yeah, I remember they tried to start like a junior soccer league because they couldn't get footy going properly. They had the Island of Origin, obviously, but tried to do soccer. And a guy, like a local guy, was trying to organise it. They were getting kids from, because there's 2 schools on TI, the State School and the Sacred Heart. And it was a Sunday afternoon, so we'd gone out on the boat. We were coming back. And it's proper island time over there. You get back, and I think about 4 kids rocked up, but the organiser forgot to, and it never happened again. And that was about the structure of junior sport that we got the whole time I was there.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's cool, bud. Just wing it, eh? Probably makes it just as fun anyway.
It was the best,
Yeah.
and I love looking at photos now. And you take it for granted as a kid because it's all you know.
Yep.
I look
Is there
at,
secondary school up there? No.
yeah, there is a high school, state high. Yep, but for kids that I suppose want a bit more opportunity, particularly in sporting spaces, a lot of them go to Cairns and Townsville.
Yeah.
to
There's more
boarding
more
schools.
going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
So you
fair
went to
enough.
Cairns after that.
Yeah, went to Cairns, went to St Augustine's in Cairns for a couple of years. I was a terrible student, but it's to be expected when you don't wear shoes till you're 14.
What was it like having what they forced you to wear shoes at school?
It was funny because the first year I got there, I'd still wear the jelly sandals everywhere because that's the only shoes that you'd wear. And kids would rip the shit out of me. For it. I couldn't understand it. Like, kids would tease the shit. I'm like, this is all I know. Like,
Yeah,
I
true.
don't
That'd be
understand it.
different, isn't
Yeah. So I'll never forget the day I threw my sandals out. It was a sad time and moved to like boring old sneakers just to blend in with everyone else.
Oh,
But
fuck, eh?
Yeah,
He
kids
conformed.
are
He
fucked,
conformed.
eh?
kids are the worst.
Kids are the worst,
But
man.
I did try a pair of those jelly sandals on not that long ago. I'm like, how the fuck did I ever wear these?
What was your
Digging
fir-
into your feet.
They're so uncomfortable and they're flat like that. They're a terrible wear.
No wonder they all got them flat damper feet.
Yeah,
eh?
exactly.
Fat damper feet.
Do you own a pair of Crocs?
Yeah.
They're the best.
But the thing is, I hate about the Croc thing is that, and look, everyone should wear them. I get it because they're comfortable. But, and I'm sure you guys are the same, my missus and mates used to rip the piss out of me for wearing Crocs about how ugly they wear.
I was
whatever.
part of that team
Yeah.
until I got a
Yeah.
pair. I was like, oh.
And they were cheap until you assholes came along. Crocs
Yeah.
are $30.
Now they're fucking $70 or
they're
something, 80 bucks
yeah.
for it. Yeah. Yeah. I remember getting roasted for wearing them.
I don't know. I'll get mine
Proper.
off eBay, so $30.
I seen a thing a while ago about
that's like-
Crocs everyone got roasted for wearing them. Now hot guys wear them.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know,
Yeah, they got little attachments. but-
Crocs and
Popular
Murky. I'm waiting for them to bring back I don't forget the actual name, like the massage sandals.
with the
Yeah,
spikes
Masseurs.
on the bottom.
Masseurs.
Yeah.
They were good.
They were good. I'd
My
always get
mum
the
rocked them
smooth
for
ones.
years.
Yeah.
My mum had them for about 30 years.
Yeah.
All the things were broken off them.
What was your first pair of shoes? I had these mad Lynx. Remember the brand Lynx?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
I had
that's
these
gone,
Lynx pair of shoes in grade 1.
The
I think I got
Velcros?
them. Nah.
okay.
I think
I
had
always
laces,
wanted Velcro
yeah.
shoes, but all the cool kids had them. But now I know it's because their
Convenience.
parents are lazy.
Yeah.
They don't want
Yeah.
to tie their shoelaces.
Fucking
Because
smart.
I get my kids Velcro shoes.
I'll be doing the same. Fuck yeah. Ah, true. I don't even remember my first set of shoes at all. I can't.
Mine would have been sandals, I reckon. Jelly sandals.
No,
'Cause
but
you-
like sneakers when you said you
Oh.
went to like proper shoes when you got peer pressured.
My
Teased
parents,
so
my
much.
parents were tight, so I reckon I would have ended up at Spenless, like a non-brand
Yeah.
sort of, probably the Lynx or something
Yeah,
similar
right.
to that. With it.
Yeah, mine would have been pluggers or something. I grew up in Nhulunbuy, up in Arnhem till I was
Oh,
5 or
yeah.
6. So mine would have been the same as you, no shoes.
Yeah.
But till I was 6,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
have had some fucking thing.
Yeah, how old were you when you left Tamworth?
Cheapos.
I think three and a half, something like
young,
that.
yeah.
Young, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
So you didn't get
Yeah.
into country music yet.
No, it was much later. And I was actually moving to Canada the first time because in regional or rural Alberta where we were, that's
Yep.
all they listened to.
Yep.
So I didn't even know who Toby Keith was till I
Yeah,
got there.
yeah.
And then it's like they don't have a prime minister. Toby Keith was their like figurative leader at that stage. Yeah, he was the man.
Fucking the man in the country.
So I want to go to the country music festival. I went when I was really young in Tamworth.
Tamworth,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I'd love to go properly
fuck
now.
Go now that you like country?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kev's a fake country artist.
Nah.
Country fan.
Run
fake
down,
country
cunt,
fan.
straight up.
No, I'd love
I'm
to
from
go
Charters
too.
Towers where they have the country music festival.
Oh, you're
I-
proper then,
I grew
yeah.
up thinking, this music's shit. And then similar to you, I was traveling America, I bought a van from a mate, we were traveling around, we got to Nashville and they had like the Nashville CMC on. They had a free stage
Yeah.
you could rock up to go to, and I'm seeing Jason Aldean playing
Oh,
live.
yeah.
And just the live aspect of it won me over. I was like, these cunts are unreal.
I don't know
That won me over.
if or how they go about it. I don't know anything about music, but we only saw that Tyler Childers last week. He was in Melbourne and he's playing all over. And their ability to sound just as good, if not better, live.
It's insane, eh?
Yeah.
It's one of the best like genres for
Yeah.
pulling off their music live.
That's the best.
You know, you listen to rap and that sometimes it's just a backing track
Yeah.
of some cunt. And you're like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
pay to go see that. You know, I listen to rap, but like that is you get the full bang for buck out of it.
Yeah, that's the best gig I've
Yeah.
seen. That
Tyler
Childers.
Childers?
Oh, so
His,
good.
his voice is phenomenal, eh?
Amazing, and he's about that big.
Is he?
Yeah, and
Little
he's
small ringer
full
fella.
his carries. He's completely clean shaven. I think he used to be big
Powerful.
into a fair bit of gear. He's completely off it now, stone cold sober.
Full Christian now. I think
Yeah,
he's gone.
but he just gets up. He said, "I've brought my hillbilly band with me," and his accent, I could never do it justice. You have to YouTube him.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, I'm sure he'll come back.
Was
to
that a big
Australia.
arena? Or
I was at the Sydney Mire Music Bowl, so it's like that. You got seating at the front, then the grass space at the back.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was
right.
about 15,000 there.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Wow. You know who he is, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
don't listen to him heaps, to be
Yeah.
honest, but yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hats off to you. I wish I fucking go
Yeah,
see
he was
that.
good.
Wait, I was surprised hearing that, like how country Canada and shit is. Though, like hearing from Livo, our mate went over there.
They
riding
love it, eh?
radios.
Did you do the Calgary Stampede and that?
Yes, yeah, did the Stampede.
That's awesome, eh? Big party.
I think because Canada is probably not that dissimilar to here, and there's lots of wide open spaces, a lot of farming communities too,
Yeah.
particularly like the central and northern parts. Big farming, and like I said, where I was, central Alberta to start, we were in a town called Halkirk, which had 110 people.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful part of the world.
Yep.
But yeah, that's you turn on the radio and you probably had 5 options. There was quite a lot of options, but it was all country.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah.
you got no choice.
That's awesome.
That Kelowna was beautiful. That Okanagan Valley and all the
Oh,
valleys
man.
there. That was
It's a great,
amazing.
great spot.
Can't remember what we did. It was like Penticton or something. You do the float.
Yep.
You get dropped off and you get all like the air mattresses and the big tire tubes and you get a carton of piss and you just float like 5 hours down a river. Get to the bottom. Someone hitchhikes back to a car. Then you drive and get picked up. It's just a full day of drink of beers in floating along the fucking river
it's a
or
great
creek.
spot.
It's wicked, eh? I love that shit.
What about finishing school? Did you get straight into your radio shit? How does one actually get into radio? Or like,
No,
what do you have to do?
I went to Canada straight after school. I went over there, did that farming stuff. I actually I played baseball as a kid. I wanted to try playing overseas to see if I was any good. I wasn't. So I came back probably as a lot of 18, 19-year-old kids are a bit lost, and did a few odd jobs, worked super cheap auto, knowing nothing about cars. People come in and be like, oh, have you got an air filter for this, that, the other? But nah, we just sold out. I then made fine in the corner. I'm like, oh, we just got stock in. I had no idea. I worked with PCYC, like childcare stuff for a little bit, and I actually applied to get into the coppers. And I did all that fitness testing. I did the 6-month course at TAFE.
Did you have a beep test?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Not much, but they said I could do it again when you get in the academy, so it was okay. But I did that TAFE course at South Bank in Brizzy, which was actually pretty fun. applied for that, and it's like a 6-month wait. So while I was waiting, I was trying a few things, and I went up to Cairns, and I had a mate up there at BBM, which is the Indigenous station, Bumma Bipra. And the day I got in there, he was interviewing Busby Maru.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Epic. Fuck
And I was
yeah.
like, this is the best. Like, this is your job. He's like, yeah, come and do a couple of shows with me. Just like that. Like, community station,
Yeah.
you know, like, come and do a couple of shows. Like, oh, sweet.
It's like right place, right time.
Yeah. And then I did like the whole summer with him, and I ended up putting some tapes together, and I was like, oh, I really like this. And just for fun, I did these CDs, and I sent them out to 400 stations across the country, and didn't think too much of it once it was sent out. I got a few letters back from people. It was really nice. A few people called me saying thanks for reaching out. Obviously, you know, you got no idea what you're doing, so I'm not going to hire
But you were used to that from trying to play fly
Pretty
half
much, yeah.
And baseball.
And baseball, yeah. I wasn't really good at many things. And then
Crack, but
I got a call one morning from the Coppers saying, oh, you're into the academy. I was like, oh, sweet, how good. And then an hour later, GM at the Broken Hill radio station calls me. He said, I can give you 32 grand to do breakfast radio, and you'll basically do our ads, our promos as well. You'll be working from 5 a.m. till 6 p.m. every night, but it's a start.
32 G's.
Yeah, but that was
Really
2010 or something like that, 2009, 2010. So not great still, but it was, you could live off it.
Yeah.
And I called my stepdad because he was a cop for 40 years. I said, what do I do? He said, mate, there's too much fucking paperwork in the cops. Go and do radio. That was
True.
it.
Yeah,
That
I was
it.
going to say you're lucky
hell
that you
wow.
chose.
Yeah.
Fuck being a cop.
little
Good
fork
way
in
to
the
say
road, eh?
Yeah. And it was like, now I can't imagine doing a different kind of skill set.
Yeah.
Imagine you were a copper.
Oh,
Yeah,
terrible.
it's funny how
You've seen me try to train at boxing. I wouldn't have the fitness. So if someone was like, stole a handbag, but
all yours. It's funny how life throws that little fork in the road
Yeah.
that you could have
Yeah.
gone a completely different way.
Yeah, I think it happens to everyone.
Yeah,
eh?
it
Yep.
does.
Fork
Yeah.
in the road.
So
Oh,
what
there you go.
for most people, what is the normal thing? Do you have to do any sort of thing to get in?
Like training or anything? No traineeship or nothing. It's just
Yeah, I don't know if there is normal with it, because you can do what's called AFTERS, which is the Australian Film and Television Radio School. People do courses there and find it easier, I think, sometimes to graduate from there, have some contacts and then
Yeah.
go out. But so many ways to do it. I just did it, like I said, through community
Yeah,
radio
that's
and
mad.
sent stuff out. I reckon in that world, whether it's TV or radio or whatever, being persistent and front of mind is, I always thought was number one, is you can do that without being annoying. Like, you can send some stuff out. If you haven't heard back, call them for feedback. If you haven't heard back again, nudge them again eventually. Like,
just giving it a crack.
Yep.
Just putting yourself out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about fork at the road. I'm in one now. Like, our position with Triple M, my full-time spot got made redundant as we record this, a week ago.
Yeah, true. Yep.
So it's actually, I was dirty for a couple of days. Not at anyone. I was just sad.
Oh, of course.
Because last year I thought I'd be staying on for a longer period. You and I had these conversations, and then it didn't happen. I'll still do some footy casually, but it's made me get off my ass and contact some other people and speak to some other networks and that kind of thing, which is exciting, because you're like, oh, people actually rate you, people like you, and 15 years of hard work isn't for nothing. Like, something else will pop up. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm not fretting. So
So
Yeah, something will come.
what sort of is there a reasoning behind that, and how much has radio changed in that time and stuff, like direction it's gone and
reasoning is a budgetary thing, as far as I understand. I mean, our company had, I think, almost 100 redundancies last week across the board.
Wait, really?
And
so it's
yeah.
just cutting back. It's just financial thing.
It's financial.
Nothing to heart.
It's not a personal thing, and I
Yeah.
don't take it personally. It hurts because you don't want to leave.
Yep.
But like I said, I'll still do some stuff with them casually, which is good. But in terms of change, I think radio will matter forever. And people say, oh, radio, I'm on Spotify, whatever. Okay, cool. People will still listen to radio. But
Yeah.
listening numbers are up
It's still
over
up.
the last
So
5 years.
So the podcast game hasn't changed it.
Podcast,
too
I
much?
think, has helped, if
Yep.
anything.
Oh, really? Yep,
Because
yep.
more people are getting their ears around audio. More people are realising
Yeah.
they like it and sampling new
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, true.
But I also think for like radio and TV and a lot of spend is still down from COVID. So, that'll come back eventually. But, with lack of spend comes lack of money coming in, comes cuts. So, yeah, I get it. That's
That
business.
can happen in any job, eh?
Yep.
yeah, you would think that, like, so many more, I suppose, sources of media, like
Yep.
podcasting and all the rest.
But
it might have affected it. But
most radio shows are podcasts as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if there's a radio show you like,
Yeah,
it's available in
yeah,
podcast form.
that is true.
And then they got their digital stuff as well. Like it's just increased what they can push out.
Because I think the talking aspect is good a lot of the time because good ways the stuff they play on radios, music
Oh,
wise,
it's the same shit over
is
there.
shit.
100%.
You know, so it's like I want to hear the conversations and not
Exactly.
the shit fucking pop,
100%.
pop music that they're
Well,
forcing on.
when I'd hear you at work, because I drive trucks, I put the radio on for the footy.
Yep.
Right, and that's when I want to hear. Like, if I'm in a truck driving and I can't watch it, it's like, okay, I'm putting the radio on because I want to hear the footy and I'd hear you talk on there. So I won't be hearing you anymore then.
And I think still doing footy.
Still doing footy?
Yeah,
Okay.
still doing footy,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
would be good. But yeah, I think 2 times a crisis, like floods and whatever, people that don't
of
listen often
course.
will switch
Yeah.
back on
Yeah.
and that kind
Yep.
of thing
Yeah.
too.
True.
So it's always going to have its place.
Definitely
Yeah.
like local things that are happening.
Yep.
You need to listen to the radio. I
Yeah.
guess it's the only.
Yep.
Well,
Before we
if
get
there's
onto
a-
the.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if there's a big power out or something, you don't have internet, radio's still there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Before we get onto the footy stuff and that, talking about radio, do you get to choose topics and stuff you talk about, or is there certain things that, like obviously local things happen, they might push for you to talk about, or how's that sort of work?
Yeah, we don't pick the music, so you can bag that all you like. I have nothing to do with that. No, the music's selected from, people that are in that department that look at when should play what and smarter people than me.
Not smart.
but
I'm going to call them not smart because they play shit.
Fucking same shit all the time.
Some teenager in the back.
the content was, you'd normally, in a normal world, you work with your producer, or some shows have a couple of producers, some shows have none. And you'd look at, if you're doing a breakfast show that's 6 to 9, you'd look at, okay, I've got 5 content spots an hour. Here's a regular guest we have in each hour. Here's a regular, maybe what we call a benchmark. So it might be a quiz or something like that. And then outside it, you got free reign to, okay, I want to do a phone topic on this here. I want to do a yarn on what the mayor has or hasn't been doing here, or I want to do this. Yeah, so
You
in
dictate.
short, you've got 99% control unless your boss is an asshole. But if you've been hired to do a show, you'd
That's part of your role, part of your job.
most of the time you're given control.
No, that's good then, yeah. No, we just come in here and we just talk shit about absolutely anything. So
That's the dream. That's how it should be.
We've got a couple of
sometimes
sort of
I'd find it
recurring
hard.
topics.
Like like sticking to a certain criteria, I'd find it hard myself.
Well, I know it's not in shot, but I feel like we're back on TI all barefoot together. I'm enjoying it.
That's the way.
Can't be bringing crumbs in the hoops. Place. I don't want to be.
What about getting into the footy stuff? How did that, like, calling the footy games and shit?
My grandpa was a famous caller through 4BH, which is like an old station through Brisbane and all of that. He called for about 30 years. International footy and everything in between. Actually, he coined the phrase, the greatest game of all for Rugby League.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got his plaque up at Suncorp Stadium in the Hall of Fame. If you ever get a chance, if you get a magic round or something, because the public can just go and see it in the Hall of Fame section. George Lovejoy's got a big photo up there and everything.
That's cool. That's obviously it's in your blood, but
I got old tapes from him, which is really cool.
How's he sound? Does he?
Yeah, much better than me. He had that because those tapes. I love listening to stuff back then because the voice. I don't know. It feels like it carries in a different way. He was so passionate. He was so good, actually.
You have a different style to him.
I think he's probably a bit faster and more eccentric than me, whereas I'm probably a bit slower just in general. But no, I'd sort of tried to build my own sort of style. But in terms of getting into it, I always wanted to. Obviously, did all that travel and whatever, so I was biding my time a bit for it. There was an opportunity in 2021, I think it was, where the local Cowboys called team needed a sideline person. So I would sort of annoyed them till they couldn't ignore me for that.
Andy Dufresne, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And then I started doing stuff nationally for Triple M. So I've been lucky enough. I sort of last year I was at Leichhardt a few times in Canberra. I say lucky. Canberra's not a lucky place to be at in the winter. And I've just started doing lead calls over the last couple of years too. So my first game was last year's Dolphins Storm. And I'll never forget, that was my favourite moment of my career. It was I'm not very good at feeling proud. Like, I like to take the piss of what I do. I felt really proud that day, and that's what I want to do forever.
Storms, eh?
Storms. Up the Storms.
And you're working with some of the ex-players and that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that call, so I was the lead caller, and then I had Mitchell Pearce and Aaron Woods doing it with
cool
me.
as fuck.
Yeah, but normally you have, like we just did a preseason game in Toowoomba. So a guy called Ben Dobbin was calling it. He had Ben Hannon and Christian Welch, who's just retired, doing it. I did the sideline for that. So you normally got your main caller, whether it's Dobbo, Ganane, or someone like that, and then you'll have a couple of experts outside them and a sideline. So,
did you, like, talking about styles and development and stuff, did you have to change the way you talk? Or how do you, like, how's that go? Did you practice talking and shit?
Talking live
what do
in
you
a live
reckon?
game,
Like,
it'd be so hard.
for footy?
You'd have to be quick.
Or even
You'd
just
have to be
the way
quick-witted, I reckon,
sound
to following it and to think of words.
How long did it take you to get used to hearing your own voice?
That took a few years. Yeah, I was saying before we started, like, you'd listen back to bits with the bosses and you cringe every time, but now I'm used to it. But for the footy style, there's probably a few bits to it. I won't go into too much because it'd be boring, but like I reckon I have to un-ocker about 10% just because growing up in North Queensland for the most part, and whether we sound different to people in Sydney and Brisbane or whatever.
That'd be hard.
I get that all the time.
I never realised
That'd be pretty
until I went
hard.
down to Melbourne.
Yeah,
trying to do that.
And it's just trying to over-pronunciate at times, that kind of thing. But it's different. Like if you're doing a sideline, I make sure I'm over-prepped in my stats. So I'll have stats on every single player. I'll have stats on the matchup. I'll have weather conditions. I'll have, Kyle Felt has a 10-try drought at this ground or, shit like that. Just so that normally they come to you on the sideline and you can paint a picture of, Daniel Saifiti's just gone off with a limp or whatever. But if it's a moment in play where a stat fits, you got something there as background fodder. So I'll make sure I never have nothing.
You need something to fill the gaps.
Because I still hear, and I'm no expert, but I hear people on the sideline sometimes and I throw to them and they've got nothing. But no, that was a great try from so-and-so. It's like, dickhead, the commentator just said that. Like, that's not your job.
So you're meant to have a little bit of different input than what
I believe so. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. That's just the way I'd...
Weather conditions a big one on the sideline.
Yeah, massive.
I feel for poor Scotty Prince.
that's the
Never
worst,
let it down, poor fella.
Yeah.
That's how I'd be.
I'm pretty sure that was my first 5 of them. Was worse than when Scotty had that day. But then league calling is a bit different in that it is a million miles an hour.
That's what I find will be so hard because you're in the moment and you need a gap fill and you just need to talk and like.
And you've also got this credit line sheet where you've got, say, 40 sponsors you've got to get away throughout it.
Yeah.
Plus remembering when to go to Mitch or when to go to Woodsy or whenever it might be. Oh, shit, I haven't gone on my sideline in 15 minutes. What's happening down there? And you hope he's still there. And that first call I did, so it felt like it was going awesome. Like, started well, first set of 6. We had like a quick funny in there and it felt like it got us going. Through to Woodsy, he was good. Through to Junior, he was good. And then I was like, sweet, how good is this? We're 6 minutes in.
Flowing.
Down to the sideline, a guy called Dan Robinson, really good fella. Down to you, Dan, what's happening, mate? Just silence. I'm like, I've pushed something. I've done something wrong. I wasn't meant to go. Dan, what's happening? I tried again, nothing. I come back and the producer's like, nah. So
stuff wasn't linked up.
Yeah, it wasn't working.
Then you just got to quickly cover it. Oh, we got technical difficulties.
So 5 minutes later, same thing. All right, I think we're connected to our Dan Robinson. Nothing. I think it was 4 goes till we finally got the poor bastard.
Dan sleeping down there.
What about me?
Besides that, no, it went well and I hope I get to do that. And I'd love to do, I'm just starting to learn some cricket stuff. I hope I get to do that stuff forever.
That's awesome.
So that is something that you can stay on doing this year?
Yep.
Up here, Cows games?
So I'm doing, I think, I just got the roster the other day, down to about 45 games total, about 30 in sort of Brizzy Gold Coast. I think 1 out at Bathurst for Knights of playing Panthers. Couple in Perth and a few up here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it'd be good.
So Newey fan, eh?
Yeah.
You'll love going out there, watching them.
Well, you'd normally like going to watch them, but if they're playing Penrith, that'd be
it might be a rough night for you.
Exactly.
So what, you just love footy growing up, and that it must be awesome.
Yeah.
To call the game.
How come Knights your favourite team?
Born in Tamworth, and my grandpa, cause he was in Brizzy, and obviously he was the caller, so he was so into it. He got, when the Broncos had their inception, he got straight into them, and I think he tried to play it a bit too much with me. He just tried to shovel the Broncos to me.
Yeah, there's a bit of overload.
I was a 10 or 11-year-old kid like, nah, stuff ya.
The old rebel.
Looked at the map, And I was like, oh, the Knights are probably the closest to Tamworth. Picked them. That was
True.
it. Yeah.
Fuck,
yeah.
that's unreal.
Yeah, and I also picked New South Wales again. I think mainly to piss most of my family off.
Yeah.
But then I stuck with them ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been because of Joey Johns. I've got a mate who
I love Joey.
He's never left anywhere, and he goes for the Knights.
Yeah.
Purely because of Joey.
Is it, mate? There's boys in Torres Strait that would go for New South Wales because of the same reason, or maybe it was Freddie, or even earlier memories of other players. But
choose your player.
I remember Freddie
pretty much,
playing for Penrith.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I got a
that's
little
going
Penrith
back.
hat when I was like 3 or 4, and like
he was a gun.
You know?
When he played in the centres at Penrith, he was,
Yeah,
he was a freak.
that right foot step.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's your favourite call or commentator or caller of all time?
Of all time,
Of all any sports too. Any sports.
Okay,
All
any
sports.
sports. Ooh, any sports is tough. Actually,
Kevy's about to say his UFC commentator.
okay.
John Ennick.
I love.
I wasn't actually, but I'll pipe in then. Yeah, John Nick's my favourite.
Okay. I love James Bracey. He does the cricket for us on Triple M, but does 7 as well.
Yep.
I just love the animation and
The
character.
excitement, yep.
You could turn on Test match cricket and hate cricket and hear James Bracey and be like, oh, this is a bit of fun. Which I love about him. Footy, it's hard to single one. Like Ray Warren, and I know
Rabs,
it's probably
yeah.
an easy.
How do you beat Rabs, eh? He's one of the best.
He does an interview with Mark Boris.
Yeah, he's got the best. But Mark Boris is the best
He's the best interviewer in Australia.
by
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
He's
What he gets out of his subjects, and that yarn with Ray, I actually listened to when I wanted to do the commentating. There's some really helpful tips on tone and pace and how to get into it. And I'll still go back and listen to some of Rabs now.
Yeah.
But ones that are doing it right now, I think Dan Ganane is probably right up there. He does it on Fox. He does it for Triple M. He does cricket as well. Again, like animation to his voice, and I think he's quite fun. And I think you got to move with the times. Like Rugby League needs to be a fun game to watch, but also to listen to. So.
How do you remember some, or do you obviously got stuff written down, but I feel like your memory on footy is like, I suppose it's something you love. Like I can probably recall shit from boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how do you remember that? So
I
is
can't.
it just loving it so much and watching so much footy growing up and that?
Yeah, and just being a tragic nerd and not knowing anything else in life, like doing so poorly at school, not knowing numbers and not knowing where this air filter is or whatever. But like I could tell you, who played in this game in round 4 of 1994.
Well, we got me and remember Dane at work. We used to play this stupid game where, like, out of nowhere, you'd have to say like the most obscure rugby league player's name
Todd
that you could think
Polglaze.
of. And we'd say like you'd just be sitting there silent, but you had to say it like Craig Frawley or like Paul Desault. And you just had to
Stuart
like
Kelly.
you just had to say it like that out of nowhere. And sometimes he still messages me. Like I haven't spoken to him for 6 months. And he'll message me like Russell Borden. Stuff like that. And it's just, we went for a whole 12-hour shift one time, just like little kids laughing straight.
But in a serious, that's the beauty of the game for me. There aren't many sports in the world like that where super fans will just, like you were content for 12 hours rattling off players that probably played combined 100 games between
exactly.
them.
There was one that I had him fucking rattled on one time, which you'll love.
Yeah.
Old Newey boy. George Carmont.
Oh, old Socks Down Carmont.
Yeah, George Carmont.
Socks Down. One of the greats. One of the greats. I think he played through 2 spoons for him. Yeah. He was good fun, George.
Yeah, there's so many players that,
People forget about too.
Yeah.
Leon Bott. That's one.
Bott, yeah. Winger for Bronx.
What do they call him? Something Lightning or something.
Yeah.
Bot Lightning.
They reckon he was like
Lightning
the
Bot.
Lightning Bolt.
That makes more sense. Not Bot Lightning. So you get after a curry. No, because he ended up signing to the Sharks after, like, he had that one break down the right side for the Broncos. People were like, oh, he's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, and he won't mind me saying this, Leon probably poured as much into his diet as I do. And for a fast, fit winger, it doesn't always work out. So,
Didn't sustain it.
No.
Give us some more. Give us number one obscure player right now.
Dan Tolar, big red-headed front rower.
For who?
Played a little bit at Newey, played a little bit all over.
Oh, yeah, that's one I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good. I always do this, you know, when you're playing King's Cup and categories comes up.
yeah.
I always do that for categories,
players?
like NRL players from the past. And there's always just so many names that you can rattle off. All right, I'm going to quiz you here.
Right.
See how good your memory is. Newcastle fan. These are all records.
I'll probably panic here.
Records set at the Newcastle club.
Okay.
Most games.
See, I want to say Bedsy he came back for the second stint.
Locking it in.
Yeah, but not with confidence.
Yeah, Badarius. Only by 6 games. Kurt Gidley
Yeah.
is second, but he only beat him by 6 games.
See, I almost did a panic Steve Simpson there. This is what happens. As soon as there's pressure, I forget everything. Yeah.
What about most tries? It's not as many as you'd think, like,
Yeah. It'd be Uarte, I reckon. Yeah.
and most bomb tries as
Yeah, I
well.
see that.
Duarte.
I seen that reel the other day.
The real,
dropped a
he's
few
bombed
on me.
so many tries. He's
Literally just had
got,
to put it down and he drops them.
how many you reckon he's got? It's over 100.
Yeah. 117?
10.
110.
Yeah. But yeah, you think of how many he bombed, he probably would have 200.
Mate, in his prime, where that sort of 2, 3, 4 year stretch he had, when he played State of Origin as well, and for Australia, he was scary.
Because he didn't play a lot of, like, how many seasons would he have played for?
I think he played 7 or 8 at Newey. Yeah.
I suppose that's enough.
He was part of that team that beat, I'll talk Newey all you like,
Yeah.
part of that team that beat Melbourne in the qualifier in 2013. They got to a prelim. That was the best Knights win ever for me outside the grand final.
Kevy wanted
Really?
to talk about a qualifier. Eh?
Oh, that was a good one last year.
I don't want to talk about it. I didn't say that.
Did you go that? Yeah, obviously you
We
were at that
worked
game.
it. So I'm trying to be professional at the same
you
time
were-
going, fuck!
So you were working, true.
Yeah.
Fuck. That was a loud crowd too,
It
man.
was a
That's
loud crowd.
probably one of
Put
the
my
loudest.
headphones up like that. They said, do you want to go to the post-match press? I was like, nah.
And Ponga was running amok too,
Yeah,
man. I thought
yeah.
he was going to fuck cripple us.
Yeah.
He was on fire that night.
Oh, that pass to go anywhere.
yeah.
Let's not talk about it.
Next subject, back to the game, mate.
Most tries in a season.
Dom Young. Yeah.
How many you reckon?
22.
5.
Oh, do you get that?
He's
was 2
decent.
years ago. Yeah, yeah.
He's
This,
decent.
this
Good
is,
finisher.
I'll be impressed if you get this, but you probably will. Most tries in a match.
Cooper Vuna. No, because he got 4. Did someone else get 4 or 5? Oh no, it was recent. It was the last couple of years. Fletcher Sharp.
22
I know.
against the Titans. Someone got 5.
Must have been a winger.
Yeah.
So was Marju there then? No. I've had that many guesses. I'm wrong. But
Big clue. I'll give you a big clue.
This is what Kev does. He just chooses.
Oh, yeah, I'll keep going. I'll keep going. Big clue. He's a TSI fella?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, do you know this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know the answer.
I sent
know
you
the
this
answer.
shit.
Who was
No,
it?
Yeah. The big clue.
Edric
bro.
Lee.
oh yeah, it was Big Edric.
Edric got 5 against
Yeah.
the Titans in 2002.
Yeah, yeah. Poor bugger, he played hardly any footy when he was at Newey. When he was on the field, he was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Where's he playing now?
He was at the Dolphins. I don't know if he's still in the system.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what he's
Yep,
doing.
Yep.
Actually, he did go to Dolphins.
Yeah.
Because he got an Origin game, didn't he?
Yep.
They ended
Yeah.
up picking him for. Yeah.
Yes, that's the
And,
team where...
is it his brother or cousin? He played a game
yeah,
too, didn't he?
they played right centre, right wing together. That's the
Yeah.
game where I thought, oh, we're going to win by 90 and we lost.
Yeah.
Lost the series. Let's not talk about it.
Next subject. He reckons.
I'm thinking.
He's in pain here, right?
No, I'm thinking thing, but I just remembered you said you go
Yeah.
for New South Wales.
Yeah.
Sucked in.
Thank you.
Nah, do you know what was fucked? That game they had up here.
That was a great game.
Oh,
Like,
bro,
That was one of the best
glorious.
origins ever.
I'm thinking,
Bring
yeah.
it back.
Felty's game
Yeah.
too. Felty's first
Because
game.
I'm
and
thinking,
all.
oh yeah, Origin and Townsville. I've been to
Yeah.
Sydney for a game. I've
Yeah.
been to about 10 in
Was it what,
Queensland.
50
I'm
to 6 or
like,
something? What was it?
Yeah, it was 50 to 6,
Proper
exactly.
high,
like, it's going to
no.
be so good having one at home.
And how many
Yeah.
people
Fuck.
took the next day off
Oh,
to
no.
be here for
So
Oh, no,
shit.
man.
Yeah,
Biggest
Just to
fight.
get butchered.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
That-
Felty's
that
first
year,
game.
yeah, that's right.
I thought he was like, I was hoping he was going to run a mark for us. Home game.
That one, because I think I'd been to, I reckon, 6 Origins at that point. I'd never seen New South Wales win a game.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
So I booked game 2 of that series because they went from Townsville to Suncorp and went to Suncorp and I'd booked game 2. And New South Wales won and wrapped up the series. And it was like, there was a fair few New South Wales fans at the stadium, but not that many, obviously. It's a cauldron. And I remember at full time, none of us knew what to do. We're just not used to winning this. Yeah.
2-0 too.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, it was probably the same last year too. But I remember just sitting around and I remember staring at another Blues fan like,
Do we have beers? Do we go get?
Do we just go to bed? Like,
This feels weird.
I'm used to crying. I don't know what to do. So no, it was pretty good though.
What'd you end up doing?
I think I went to bed. Yeah,
And had good dreams.
yeah, I did. Slept well that night. Yeah,
What's your favourite game of footy?
ever.
It's a fucking hard. What would
It
it
is
be?
a hard one, yeah.
Newcastle's grand final or what?
I think you know what? Probably not because I was so young. Because I was only
Couldn't soak it up as
I'd
much.
only really
Yep.
just gotten into Newcastle.
What
so
year
I
was? What year did they win?
97 and 01.
Okay.
Yeah. But as a Newey fan, the probably two, the game to get into the prelim where they beat Melbourne in Melbourne because it's so hard to do. Uade scored in the corner that sort of sealed it. And there was a game against Melbourne as well in Newcastle where you talk about obscure players. Travis Waddell had a one-on-one steal on Billy Slater. So they were down 10 with I think there was 3 minutes to go. And Travis Waddell did the one-on-one steal of Billy Slater on his try line and ducked over and scored. And then
He was good, man.
yeah,
Good hooker.
yeah.
I remember him coming through 20s at Canberra.
and he was at the Broncos for a
He
bit.
was good, man.
And then they got the ball back and they shifted right, scored in the corner. I think it was 30 all. And howling wind, Kurt Gidley has a kick from his non-preferred side on the right. And he just, like Thurston, sort of brings it around right to left. And you just see all these no-name Newcastle players all piling on top of each other. And you're like, how the hell have they just done that? Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. How good is it when, like, teams that aren't, like, underdog? I
Yeah.
suppose.
The classic underdog story.
any
And a
underdog
comeback like
story.
that, and like the comeback like that, it's phenomenal.
Oh, so good.
I can't even think of, like, what my...
Apart for me, it's 2015.
Oh, yeah.
But the same year for me
Has
is
to be 15.
I think it was 2015. Early in the season, it was the Cowboys versus Parramatta. At halftime, it was 30-6, and Cows come back and Jonathan Thurston just teared it up in the last 11 minutes. End up being 36-30.
Oh, wow.
The mid-season 2015 year. I remember Chris Sando put a shot on Thurston. I remember watching it in the second half, maybe 60th minute or something. He put a shot on Thurston, kind of rubbed him in the ground, and it's like he woke Thurston up.
Yeah.
And Thurston
Woke
just went
the beast.
psycho. Yeah, and in 11 minutes they got like 4 or 5 tries or whatever it is. End up being 36-30. That's my favourite.
There's a game in the late 90s. I think it was like maybe 98, something like that. Because we were looking through, because the Cowboys' 30th year, we were looking back at some of their big
the
moments
classics.
the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a game they played against Penrith, and forgive me, I can't even remember who was in the squad that day, but they were down 26-0 at half time, the Cows, and they won 30-26. It's all on YouTube. It's worth watching. And that was a cool one.
Comeback kings.
Yeah, you shouldn't be
the
able to do that. Yeah.
The comeback is the best, eh?
Yeah. Oh,
It's
so good.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
You've done a bit of stuff with the Cows last year, eh? Like podcasting and
Yep.
interviewing the boys and stuff.
Yeah, we're doing a bit more this year. They just have what's called their Cowboys Saloon. So it's just a chance. I love the concept because it's a chance for players to get to know, a chance for fans to get to know the players on a personal level.
Yeah, that's awesome.
'Cause,
rather than just their footy.
Yeah,
see how they are
or seeing
off the
like
field.
quick social media videos or whatever. But these are proper half-hour sit-downs of
What they're into outside of the footy.
Yep, and we do it with the NRL and NRLW
Oh,
squads.
awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, some really good yarns in there. Kira Dibbs, one of my favourite ones from the female team. She's just a cool story of she should be playing Origin. She's got a pretty bad injury now. I don't know why she's not playing Origin for New South Wales. There's something going on there, but she was a cool yard. Tommy Dearden, who is such a shy-ish, humble guy to those that don't really know him, and I'm in that category. Him and I, don't know each other particularly well, but after 5 minutes, he really opens up
I
about
want to suss that one
yeah,
too.
his struggles in Brisbane and growing up and what the Cowboys mean to him, why he wants to be a Cowboy for life, all that kind of thing. Yeah,
True. He's one of
He's
my
the man,
favourites at the
yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah.
hard not to like him.
Yeah, 100%.
So how many of them did you do? And
I think we did about 8 last year, and
There's
we'll
more
do
this year.
we'll do more this year. Yep.
where can people find that?
Just on the Cowboys website.
Cowboy Saloon.
Yeah, I
on
think
their
if you just go on the
website.
Cowboys website.
Oh, man.
Epic. I'm keen for that.
yeah.
Especially
Who's been, might not be Cowboys player or
Yep.
even a footy player, who's been some of the most interesting or favourite people to talk to?
Yep. Well, if we stick to footy, I reckon there's some that have really surprised me in a nice way, and some people hang me for this, but out of everyone I've ever interviewed post game or an interview before a game or whenever it might be, the loveliest, most generous giving person away from the field is Jerome Luai.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
He just
Oh, good. That's good to know.
kind.
Fucking Queensland.
Give it-
The
The Grinch.
But you got to have villains in the game, right? Or it's boring.
Well,
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
passionate
true.
on the court
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
field. A lot of people do it.
But off the field, really.
Yeah.
And I can only go off my interactions, and we've had him a few times.
Good on him.
Yeah, such a good fella.
Suppose people like flick that switch on the field, eh?
They do.
It's super
Yeah.
competitive, and
And you can be a different person on the
Yeah.
you
field.
might have that bit
Yep.
of shit in you or
Yeah.
I think
whatever.
you've got to be like that if you in
Oh, to be a great-
Well, especially when you're a real nice person, maybe you want to let the mongrel out.
Well,
you
a
know?
lot of those kids
do it on
too,
the field.
they grow up proper underdogs. They're a Mountain Druitt, out like proper
Around the sticks,
rough
low
sticks of
economic.
Western Sydney. Like they grew up as underdogs with no money, with no like they have had that mentality for life. So, but favourite interview ever is not one of like the big names or whatever. Just for me, a great niche one because my favourite cricketer ever was Michael Bevan.
True.
The one day hero.
Yeah.
I loved watching him as a kid. And I remember when we had him on, I think it was the shittest interview that ever aired because I was so nervous to do it. It was no good.
That's awesome.
But he was awesome.
And cricket, do you want to get into that a bit more?
Yeah.
Is that something you sort of...
Yeah, I've
Watch.
done a little bit with sort of just learning with our team that was at the Gabba last year, but yeah, I'd love to do it full time at some stage. I know that I could and can. Again, like I'm as nerdy with that as I am with footy. Yeah,
'Cause I watched cricket back in the day when
Yep.
I
Australia
haven't
was
watched it
good,
many
like in the
recent years,
2000s and that. But
Who's favourite
last
current
few
cricketer?
years-
and it's a cliche one. I love Travis Head because of what he brings to the game, but I like Alex Carey, the current keeper as well. Just nice, humble guy. That
right.
seems like a good fella. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I used to watch the
all about
same as you, man. I used to
cricket
watch it
now,
back in the day.
Yeah.
I haven't in recent years.
Matty
haven't
Hayden,
dabbled as
Grigor
much.
Ponting,
Yeah.
Gilly. Well,
Yeah.
Ponting.
What a
I
team that
forgot
was.
about him, but-
Yeah, the golden era. Eh?
yeah. So,
What was that, like
When I was-
2000s, late
when I was,
2000s?
Yeah, early to the mid to the
When I was back in India, they love Ricky Ponting.
Yeah.
He's massive over there.
Because
They
of the
absolutely
IPL stuff
love
he
him.
does. Yeah, too.
He's
Yeah.
like a god over there.
But he's also
For an Australian
he's
fella.
probably our best commentator in terms of ex-players. Like
Yeah.
the way he can break a game apart. Yeah, he's really good.
Who do you reckon the best commentator is ex-players NRL? He's really good at breaking stuff down.
James Graham's fucking
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
he is.
I love listening to a half. So
Cooper Cronk, I like his
Cooper
stuff.
Cronk, so all of them, like I could say any of them. In terms of new ones that are coming through, I heard Sean Johnson the other day. I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
He
true.
did a preseason game, same thing, being a halfback, the way he could break apart the game, but
Yeah.
in a way that I feel like would make sense for anyone listening.
Yeah,
I thought
really,
he was awesome.
really
I
simple.
suppose that would be the big
simplified.
thing for listeners, because not everyone might be as deep into it. So you
And
have to
understand.
sort of
Yep.
make it understandable and relatable to
Yep.
a sense.
Yeah, I think he'll be great. I'm assuming he'll be doing more with them this year, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was really good.
Chuck him on every Warriors
Yeah,
game. I
yeah.
reckon.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
mad
epic.
here at
Yeah, he
India.
was great.
Yeah. I got another game here.
Right.
We haven't played this in a while. We did this with a couple of the footy lads we got on. So
Oh, I know where you're going. Yeah.
you're close enough.
Right.
We'll get this is your favourite footy team name. These are just all local clubs from around Australia.
Okay.
Actual registered
Yeah.
teams. All right. We got the Warilla Gorillas, the Windang Pelicans,
Right.
Parks Spacemen, the Kilcoy Yowies, and the Dapto Canaries.
I've seen the Spaceman before because I think the guy that runs the NRL roast, Dean, he did a feature on
Oh,
it.
right.
But I'll go the Yowies to be different. We played for a team when we were in Broken Hill, just outside it, called the Wilcannia Boomerangs.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was pretty good. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that is.
But
We
you
should
play
put them on.
you play on a ground that was harder than what we're sitting on. yeah.
Proper crack and dust.
Yeah.
I think that Park Spacemen, because there's like
Spaceman.
that Parks area, wherever the fuck it is.
Cold
New
as
South Wales,
fuck.
Yeah, but
Freezing.
there's like all this stories of UFOs and stuff there.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
like heaps of
Yep.
supernatural stories
Yeah, right.
Cartwell.
over the years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's heaps of stories over the years of like UFO sightings
fuck
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that's why they call it. It's like Park Spacemen. It's pretty cool.
Fuck it hell. Well, we'll go on the guest questions.
Yeah, we can get into the guest questions.
If you could eat anything for the rest of your life, what are you eating? And it can be one meal, it can be a type of cuisine.
I would have said sushi till 2 years ago. I had a Philly cheesesteak in Philadelphia.
Oh,
Cost me 46 Australian dollars, which I didn't realise till after. But it was-
phenomenal, eh?
Worth every cent.
Man,
Oh,
I went back the next day.
$46.
Yeah, burn $100 in 2 days. Had two of them. It was just
That's expensive for America too.
yeah. It was at this place called Reading Terminal Markets, which apparently are famous in Philly. And the lineup was out the door. I was like, oh, I got to try.
It's got to be good then.
Yeah,
Yeah, when people are lining up,
Yeah.
they know it has.
So
to
Philly
be.
cheesesteak from Philly.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's
What
specific.
about I forgot about that. You travelled America
Yeah.
like by yourself last year.
Yeah, I did 6 weeks. I did 8 states, 6 weeks. Yeah, it was. Did, I think 15 sport games. It was unbelievable.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it was really
Get
cool.
to tailgate?
Yeah, I did one in Tampa, and I did the Philly one. They were a bit insane for me. I couldn't keep up with Philly
Full on,
people.
eh?
No,
Yeah.
What about favourite ever athlete?
Oh,
Any sport. Don't give us a footy player.
a guy that's a receiver at the moment for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they're my greatest love in sport. A guy called Mike Evans.
Really?
He'd had 1,000 yards every single year he's played the game. I think this is year 12 or something in the NFL, something silly like that. He's like Tampa Bay's GOAT receiver,
Consistent.
which, like for rugby league terms, like a winger, I suppose.
Oh, right.
Winger
Yep.
or centre, yeah.
Yep.
And he's just awesome. Like, fans love him. And I got to see him play in Tampa, saw him score a touchdown. Yeah, it was really cool.
Wow.
I don't know much about.
Yeah, I've never really delved into the NFL as much.
Wait,
I've got mates that love it,
I did
but-
watch a cool video though. I don't know how old it is. You know how players go undercover and the quarterback went undercover, but it was like a fan day.
Oh, yeah.
And he was pretending. Have you seen it?
Did he have the mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Baker Mayfield from Tampa.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
He pretended
Yeah.
to be a fan and go in with all these super fans.
He
And
looks
he's just
like Napoleon Dynamite, the uncle in that. I forget his name. Yeah, he just
throw it over those mountains.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Yeah.
But it's funny.
Oh, that is awesome. I need to start because I love the Uncle Drew videos.
Yeah.
From back in the day. They were fucking
great.
wicked.
Yeah.
What's something you're good at? Hidden talent. Little sneaky hidden
Shouldn't have
talent
to
people
think
don't
about
know.
it.
Talking. Remembering footy stats.
I don't know if I've got one outside of
Little
work.
hidden talent.
Like a really,
That's a hard answer.
I think I'm a good listener at home. Like, considering how much talking I do.
Your missus will love you then.
You know, I learned this, and there's like blokes everywhere that listen or watch this, is that I heard this thing that you say to your missus when she's upset about something, and it's changed everything for me, is she'll like come home, she's raging about something at work or whatever. I say, right now, do you want advice or do you want to be heard?
Yeah.
You say that to him.
Yep.
Mind
Changes
advice?
everything.
Oh,
And most of the time it's heard.
noted.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, what
most of
do
the
they
time I
say?
just want to fix, right?
Yeah,
So she come
they
home,
want a
oh,
vent.
this
They want a
sucks.
vent.
I'm like,
Yeah.
well, here, just do this. And that pisses them off
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, true.
Whereas I say, if I also heard, and I'll just sit there and
I
listen.
feel like I
Just
do
let
that
him
a
vent.
lot.
Yeah.
Like try to come up with a solution.
Yeah.
No, that's men. That's how we
That's
are.
That's how we
Yeah,
are.
just trying to help.
I
Yeah.
can't even remember who said that to me, but it was changed everything.
That's good to know.
How long you been implementing that?
The last 18 months have been the best 18 months of our relationship. Yeah.
That's good too, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
What would your advice be? Like, change job?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's like, I had a horrible time at the shops. Never go to those shops again.
Don't go to Woolies anymore.
What's something you're not good at?
Boxing. Yeah. You can vouch for that. Yeah. It's sad when he goes silent.
I was going to say golf.
The silent confirmation. The silent
I don't
confirmation.
know what I'm worse at,
But,
golf or boxing.
but
to
he's
be honest.
broken 100.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck golf.
Have you broken 100?
Yeah. I wouldn't now. It's been a few
That
weeks.
means you're above average, yeah?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Wait, them stats you see are weird, eh? Like, what is it? Like 80% of people never break
100.
100.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking, surely.
But you think that because
I
most of those
suck
people
and I'll
aren't on
break
the golf
100,
course
yeah.
most of the time. So I'm seeing people like
There's
what
only once a
we
blue
play
moon or whatever.
sometimes. Yeah, that
They
are,
only do once a year or something.
yeah, these people are playing off 10. I'm like, I'm the worst person on this course. Like, I
Yeah.
don't understand.
I don't know. I'd think of that as people who would play regularly, but
Yeah.
it probably is overall. wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
you think so?
Overall.
But
It's a
because I'm thinking
massive
I
average.
suck, but I break 100 like most
Regularly.
times I play.
Yeah.
Stroke comp, like I might get just over 100, but pretty much
Yeah.
always break 100, and I suck at golf. So I think, fuck, people can't be that much
Well, my
worse
last
than
2
me.
rounds I shot 91 and I was furious.
91 would
Yeah,
be a dream.
fucked.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Most awkward or embarrassing situation you've been in. If you can remember, that kind of puts a lot of people in the spot.
throwing down the, what is he named?
Yeah.
Daniel, who was sleeping.
No, I,
Wake up, Daniel.
no, I remember working at a radio station in Canada, and I was doing a show, and we do what's called a cross. So guys live on location somewhere, cross down to him. Hey, mate, what are you doing? He was actually my roommate. And so I went down to him and said, oh, hey, Oren, where are you? He said, oh, I'm at 261, this avenue. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to give away, whatever it was. And then, because I'm recording this whole thing, so it's obviously not live, I'm going with that. And then I try to sign off. Like, thanks, Aaron. You're on 2 days. Oh, for fuck's sake, you fucking idiot, blah, blah, blah. And then save the audio, forgot to cut off the end. And because there was no delay on that station, so put it to air, and I wasn't really paying attention. I'm half listening. It's like, oh, thanks, Aaron. Oh, for fuck's sake, you fucking hit into my eyes. And then I'll never forget, GM, she walked in. She's like, you only get one, and that's it. And she walked back out, like stern faces out, shit myself.
At least you got a warning.
Yeah, that was bad.
That probably happens pretty common. Like,
I shouldn't. It's a pretty easy fix, but I felt sick. I feel sick thinking about it. Yeah.
True. Fuck, would be off the air straight away.
we've been trying to nail back our swearing too. We've been trying, and it's fucking didn't real last week.
Wait, do you know one thing is funny as where they throw to that black American fella, and then it's like a bug or something on him. Have you seen that? And he's like, fuck these fucking things. And but he's like putting on that news voice, like, oh yeah, we are here in Central and whatever. Then he's like, fuck these fucking, got me out here with these fucking bugs, man.
There's a hockey commentator, I think, last week in the NHL got hit by the puck as he was
really?
live. It just let out a huge F attached to it. Which
As
is
you-
probably
as you
fair
would.
enough.
As you would.
Surely he's not getting warned.
You
for
wouldn't
that.
think
You'd
so.
have to. What's your favorite album of all time?
Another hard one.
It is
Or artist, or just a favorite artist.
Favorite
of all time.
artist.
Oh, probably top 3 favourite artists, because I
Yep.
struggle to separate them, is Tyler Childers. I love Mac Miller, and I grew up on the Beatles.
Ah,
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
unreal. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
It's a mix.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It is. It's good.
I'm not gonna say
diverse genre.
So I think the Beatles are overrated.
Yeah.
But
I never really.
You sell out stadiums worldwide for how many years?
One of the
People
biggest
still
artists
play your
ever.
music, but you're overrated. He says so.
Yeah, but you could say that. Imagine in like 50 years, everyone's like,
Yeah.
what about what Taylor Swift did?
Ah,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
in
get it.
perspective.
I get it. Yeah. What's your favorite motto? Or do you have a favorite quote that you really like?
Do you want to be heard or listened to?
That one's
What is it?
Advice.
Do you want to be heard or do you want to
Yeah,
be
do you want advice or do you want to be heard? I'm
Nah,
actually writing that
I
down.
like this one. I'm not necessarily big into this stuff, but there's this poem my mum really likes, and the first line is "Go quietly amidst the noise and haste," which for me always meant just block out bullshit, control what you can control, like work stuff at the moment. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
made redundant, but you can work around it and find a fix
Yeah.
and whatever, and not panic, not stress. I'm not a big stressor.
Remain composed in harsh situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's I was going to say there's very few, but I'm going to say there's zero situation where stressing is going to get you out of it.
Yeah, and
Correct?
I still
fucking oath.
Yep.
like I'll sometimes struggle
Yeah,
with
true.
that, and then you breathe through it, and but you are right. There's
Which is hard sometimes, but you just
Stressing
gotta
never helps.
I've never thought about that. Is there ever a situation where stressing can help it?
no.
Maybe if you're
Never
fucking
really-
caught in a spider web and you stress out and it gets you, and it gets it off you.
But that's like wait a while. You're stressing that.
Play that-
That's
play
worse.
that
Yeah.
Torn up, yeah.
That's ripped a few of my favourite shirts because I panicked.
But yeah, there's nothing
that's
worth
interesting,
stressing
yeah.
about.
No.
So-
No, it's always go quietly amidst the noise and haste.
Yeah,
that's
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nah, well, we might wrap it up there.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, boys. Pleasure.
Thanks for joining us and showing us how to talk. And,
Yeah, we got a lot to learn.
yeah.
You got a job?
Wait, would podcasting be something that you could, get into properly? I know you do a little bit with the cows and that, but
I think
make that a career or
I
not?
think at the moment it'd be like a side thing purely because I don't have an idea that wows me.
Yeah.
Like obviously you guys would have sat down and be like, we really want to do this because X, Y, Z, and we're passionate about it. For me, at the moment, I don't really have an idea that I think separates me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think every half white man in Australia is doing the podcast at the moment. And I think if you do it for the right reasons, like you guys are, great. But I think if you're just doing it to do a podcast, then... And I don't want to do that. I think if and when I do one, I'd want to have an idea I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, man.
No, awesome. Yeah, cheers again for coming on, and
Yep.
we look forward to what's next and hearing you on the sidelines.
I'll be
again.
hearing you when I'm at work
Yeah.
driving my truck, bro. Listen,
If
talking
I'm
about
back within
footy.
the next month here, things have gone horribly pear and I will start to stress. But for now, life's pretty good. So,
Nah, good on you, man.
thanks, Zach.
Good attitude.
Thanks for
Cheers
tuning
coming
in,
on, bro.
everyone.
Ta.
See you next
Catch
time.
you. Yeah, well.